Hi and welcome. Today what I want to do is talk to you about a guitar plan, giving you a systematic plan to make real progress, get clarity in your playing and make sure you're moving in the right direction. You're not tripping up over yourself like so many of us do. I spent many years learning guitar in the early days, not really knowing what to do. I mean, for starters, we didn't really have the internet back then. All we had was, I had a crusty old book, this book just didn't really teach me much. It taught me the basics of like what chords were, what scales were, but it didn't teach me about how to make music, how to learn in the way I wanted to learn, and how to have a plan. So today I'm going to give you some ideas that are really going to help you move forward with your playing, to help stop the randomness, okay? Because there's so much randomness out there, and if you're ever unsure of what you want to practice on a day-to-day basis, or what you're going to be doing tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, then this is going to help you, so keep watching. Right, first of all, in my academy, I have something called this cheat sheet that students can print off and download, okay? Or, just keep it on the computer, just look at it or have it in front of them, like I say, printed. But also when people join, I do send them this along with my book and some other goodies as well as a welcome gift, okay? But what is this cheat sheet? Well, it's something that was painstakingly difficult to create, to refine, because I wanted something that students could just have in front of them, put on the wall, next to them, just wherever, and have some clarity. On the left side, you'll see it on the screen, we've got the 5-star award, okay? So what is the 5-star award? Basically, when I started playing, I started looking up doing grades and all that sort of stuff, and graded exams and all that sort of thing. And to be honest, it was fun, but it was hard work. And there's a lot of stuff that wasn't that relevant. But the great thing about it, it helped me measure my progress. It helped me know what to do. Each grade had specific things that I had to do. For grade 1, I had to learn certain scales. For grade 2, do things, learn other scales and do things with those scales, grade 3, so on. And it was really cool in that sense, but it was very much like there's a big disparity between what I wanted to do and what the grades were telling me to do. So what I've done over the years, I've created the 5-star award, which is summarized on this side of the cheat sheet. Basically, that is to give students a real plan. My students are generally over the age of 40. Age doesn't really matter, but to me, it's important because most of my students are learning later on in life. They might have tried for years, they might have kept coming back to the guitar. They might have, started 30, 40, 50 years ago and then come back to it recently. And they have different goals. And if you're like that, you've probably got different goals to a 15-year-old who wants to be a rock and roll guitarist, you know what I mean? Does anybody do that anymore anyway? But it's all about having that sort of clarity for you, and that's what this is about. So generally speaking, my students, like I say, learning later on in life, they want to play for themselves. Some of them, want to do the occasional open mic, jam with family, jam with friends, but generally most of my students want to learn because they want to improve their health, have fun in retirement, or if they're busy at work still, just come home from a day at work and play some beautiful music, and that's what it's all about. So everything on the 5-star award is very casual, okay? For instance, we've got different categories. We've got songs, chords, scales, patterns, fretboard knowledge, rhythm, and chord progressions. These are all really useful things, but I'm not bombarding you with these things, okay? And so you've probably learned like fragments of all these things over the years. You've probably learned some chords. If I say to you, what chords can you play? So play every chord that you know. You probably know like a G. Play it with me. A G, D, E minor, C. And it's good. That's a nice little chord progression. That is one of the chord progressions on there, by the way. And it's really useful to know. But also it's good to know patterns. And patterns are another thing on there. And what we've just done there is play a nice little strum pattern and combine the two to create some gentle but fun music. And it's about having that clarity. I'm not saying, you should learn modes, you should learn complicated theory or anything like that. It's all about making it measurable but casual, if that makes sense. So that's just part of what we do in the 5-star award, okay? There are things on there, like I say, scales and songs that, I'm not giving you specific songs on there, but I teach a lot of songs in my academy. But, it's about giving you guidance with the songs and guidance with the fretboard, knowing the notes, and you can build it up in a nice step-by-step way. Okay, so for instance, the fretboard, simple bit of fretboard knowledge. Do you know what all the natural notes are on the low E string? There they are, for instance. Do you know what all the accidental notes are, i.e. the sharps? Can you be able to, work those out? And can you play a scale on the low E string? where it becomes more practical. That's the minor pentatonic scale. Open 3, 5, 7, 10, 12. You can do the same on the high E, because the high E and the low E are tuned the same. And then it's all about creating music, and this is something I show all my students. It's not just about having knowledge, it's about applying knowledge, you know. You can do something really simple like that, then later on you can start finger picking. You know, playing little melodies and stuff like that. You know, just creating little bits of jams like that, whatever. You know, I've just put some random stuff there. But that's about exploring the fretboard and having the knowledge, combining all these different things, taking all those fragments and putting them all together. That's one of the really important things. That's something I want you to do. So today, the big takeaway from this, okay? A little bit about the cheat sheet. Have a think about the songs that you know. Write them down. How many songs have you learned how to play? Write them down on a piece of paper. Think about all the chords you know how to play. Write them all down. And then see if you can create a little jam like I did earlier on in the video with all the chords. That's a good bit of fun as well. Okay, and then think about the scales and then start making music with the scales as well. Don't just play the scales, do what I did there. Start creating some music. It's finger picking, but you can do bluesy stuff with the scales, whatever, you know, depending on the scale. But have fun with it, okay? Then you want to think about your patterns, strum patterns, for instance. How many strum patterns do you know how to play? You know, here's 3 different strum patterns. I call that the go-to strum pattern. Then you got the ultimate strum pattern. Then you got the modern strum pattern. And then when you combine them with all the chords, it sounds so cool. And they give you 3 different big elements in your playing. I teach all that as well in the academy, like I say. Okay, and then your fretboard knowledge, it combines with other things. The fretboard and the scales obviously combines together, but knowing all the notes as you learn the scales is really important, okay? Then you want to get good at rhythms. Can you play quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, triplets, quarters, like this? 8th, 16th, and then switch between the 2. Then switch between the 3 quarters, 8th, 16th, and then you can even throw in some triplets. Getting that rhythm going on, mixing and matching different rhythms, really important. Then your chord progressions. How many chord progressions do you know? Earlier on, I played the G, the D, the E minor, the C. That's the 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. Really common in a lot of modern pop. It's actually used also in Let It Be by the Beatles, which is one of the earlier songs that have used that, but you'll hear that in a lot of modern sort of pop songs. And then you got the 50s chord progression, which is the G, E minor, C, D. Okay, and that's like a sort of soul-y, poppy, emotional, sort of ballady 50s progression that you'll hear in like Unchained Melody, Stand By Me and stuff like that. Okay, they might all be in different keys, but that's not the point. It's about learning stock chord progressions, creating music with them, and that helps you, saves you time, you know, when it comes to learning songs. So there you go. I wanted just to give you that. You know, you got all those different categories: songs, chords, scales, patterns, fretboard, rhythm, and chord progressions. That's part of the 5-star award. Each one is set at various levels. Do you need my 5-star award to be able to make progress with this plan today? No, you can use those ideas I've just talked about, those 7 different categories. I should remember that off by heart, but sometimes I'm forgetful. Okay, so 7 different categories there, and you could write everything down. And just having that sort of clarity on one piece of paper is really useful. But if you do want more, if you want a specific plan for learning all this stuff in stages, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star, and have quizzes to help you measure your progress and test where you're at, then you can join the academy, okay? You've got a couple of options really. You could join the academy straight away by going to fingerstar101.com/academy, okay? That's, you know, you can dive in straight away, open it up for enrollment at various points, and I'll close it down again, okay? So you just have to check it out. But when you do join, you do get this cheat sheet. You get a couple of my custom made guitar picks, which are really, really lovely. And you get my book, 27 Tips, which is amazing, okay? I've got to say it myself, you know, really proud of that book. It's really cool, spiral bound as well, okay? And you get some other stuff as well, all sent to you in the post. It's really, really cool, okay? and it's very special. It took me ages to put it all together to make it a really special package to welcome new members. But if you're not ready for that, you can just go to fingerstyle101.com/free, get more stuff from me, learn more about me, find out the way I teach, see if it's a good fit for you, and then you can come into my world and we can help, have a lot of fun. I can help you enjoy your playing even more if you want me to. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some clarity, some ideas on making progress. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want more from me, here's a really cool workout you can try today just to get you on the next level and having even more fun. Right, cheers. Bye bye.